is representing solar power, and green is the color of plants using that solar power, and here we are. I would like to introduce Senator Sanders and say a few words at the beginning here of what he's done for us and what the system means to us. About 4 years ago, we started to seek means to provide our students with an opportunity to be directly involved in a hands-on way with renewable energy technology, both in capturing and converting solar power and also in utilizing it and how to utilize it efficiently, and also to educate our students about how these emerging clean energy sources fit into a much wider context of energy development on the state, national, and international level. But budgets are tight these days, and when we first started looking at this, the cost of solar was a bit higher, and there are many spending priorities, and also state colleges, being nonprofit institutions, are not eligible for the federal solar tax credit. So we were a little bit stymied as to how we could obtain funding. So we reached out to Senator Sanders, and within a couple of weeks, his staff recontacted us and informed us, much to our great delight, that they had successfully reached agreement with the Department of Energy to provide funding for a solar power installation here. The amount of that funding was $32,500, which is a huge piece. It's more than half of the cost of the system. It's exactly what we needed to get this off the ground. We then worked with Ed Delhagen at the state of Vermont and the Department of Public Service, and they coordinated with the Senator's office and with the Department of Energy. And after a few years of planning and working through the applications, we finally got the project design. Lyndon State students were involved in the design of the project right from the start. They were completely responsible for building the array here. They also built the mounting system for the electronics on the back of the alumni house, and they installed all of those components. And we are now in the final stages of the project. We've just in the last week finally obtained the monitoring equipment and hooked that up to the system, so we're going to be taking data, and we're going to be monitoring the output of the system throughout its lifetime, studying how the system interacts with Vermont phenomena such as heavy snow, cold temperatures, the kind of sunlight here, comparing the output with computer models, and hopefully, if you look up to our right here, we have enormous amounts of roof space. The cost of solar is now the modules are now selling for under $1 per watt, and we're actively exploring opportunities to possibly produce most or all of the campus's power with solar. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Senator Sanders.
Yay.